I can remember when I became a father at the age of 20 years old. And as I held this 20 or 7.5 pound African American male, in that moment, I didn't know 7.5 pounds felt so heavy. I also felt two other feelings in that moment. One was excitement and one was fear. Excitement that I had the privilege of being a father, but fear that I was enough. And I carried this weight of not feeling enough. A few years later, I had an opportunity to become a leader as a respiratory therapist in healthcare. And I felt exactly the same way. What I realized in those moments when I was a father is, and that moment when I first became a leader is that finally I was in a position to make decisions that would affect the lives of those around me. And if I can be honest today, I'm not better than you. I'm broken like you. And before I used to shy away from the feeling that I felt of not being enough. And as I began my leadership career, I walked into rooms with people more experienced than me, people with more knowledge than me, people with more education than me. And I would ask myself the question, am I enough to be everything that I was created to be? So as I was navigating the hospital floors, I would shy away from confrontation. I would shy away from situations that would expose who I really was. I don't know if you have been in a situation where you have begun a journey, whether it's leadership or the journey of being a parent, and you can feel the weight of things around you. And instead of confidence showing up, or instead of a can-do mindset showing up, your brokenness shows up. And as I lean into my talk today, the question that I have for you, the most pressing question that I have for you is, do you want to be made whole? And if you want to be made whole today, I want you to put a one in the chat because in my brokenness is where I developed the framework of how we all can become whole. The W stands for willingness. Most people don't have a skill issue, they have a will issue. And I realized as I embrace this challenge before me that if I'm willing to take on anything that comes my way, I will be able to succeed in a way that I have never, ever been able to succeed. Because there's a quote that says, if you do the things today that others won't do, you can have the things tomorrow that others won't have. The H stands for humility. I realized again that I didn't have it all together. I didn't have to know everything. All I had to do is stay teachable and stay coachable. So I was willing to humble myself, stay teachable and coachable. And then my O is optimistic opportunities. Everything that I encountered is an optimistic opportunity. Being a father at the age of 20 is an optimistic opportunity. Being a new leader is an optimistic opportunity. So I was willing, I was humble. I took every optimistic opportunity. And then I introduce you to the L, which is leadership style. And what I realized with my leadership style is I had a gift with connecting with people, a gift with serving people because I was a servant leader. So I was willing, I was humble, I was optimistically approaching every day, leading from my organic self, and execution, which is my E, became natural. There was one specific night shift I was the least experienced on. And we had a RT working with a difficult physician, the most difficult physician in the hospital. Y'all, he had a reputation. And as he is encountering this RT, he asked for the leader that night, and the leader was me that night. And as he called for me to come to the bedside of a critical situation where a patient was about to die and his life was in his hands, and he says, "I need the leader because the RT that is here is just not doing what he's supposed to do." And the old me started to whisper those lies, man, you're broken, you're not enough, you don't have what it takes. But then I remembered my whole framework. I remembered as long as I'm willing, as long as I'm humble, as long as I look at this situation as an optimistic opportunity, I can lead from the unique position and I can execute at a level that I didn't know I could execute. So I approached the room willing, walked into and introduced myself. As I introduced myself humbly, and as I looked at this situation, I became optimistic. I knew what procedure to do. I knew how to move. I knew how to communicate because I was being my organic self, y'all. And as I led from my organic self, I executed for the position. This difficult position to everybody else became a partner to me, became my ally. So anytime that there was a difficult situation, he would call on me, the broken guy from Jacksonville, Florida. And what I was able to do is I was able to realize that I am not a broken leader, but I'm a whole leader. I am not a broken father, but I'm a whole father. And I don't know about you. You may be feeling something today. You may be feeling something that you may not feel like you're enough, or the old you may show up. And I want you to put in the chat. I am not a broken leader. I am a whole leader. I am not a broken mother. I am a whole mother. I am not a broken father. I am a whole father. And what I want to leave you with today is no matter what you're going through in life, no matter where you are, you have the possibility to be the whole version of you. You have the possibility to be willing, humble, obediently, optimistically leading where execution becomes a reality. I thank you for your time today, and I hope to connect with you in the near future.